Good afternoon. This is Tamara Sweeney from Love Dominates. I'm going to make this and direct this video to my children, but it's also for targeted parents that have adult children that have been alienated for no reason at all. This is for severe alienation. But I'm trying to lift the blinders off of our children so that they get to understand the truth of what happened to them. So, to my oldest son, Dylan, my second, Dalton, my daughter, Anya, and my son, Dustin, you were told that I was a bad parent, that I abandoned you. Well, right there, if I abandoned you, then why am I trying so hard to show you that I love you? Why am I speaking out about parental alienation if I didn't love you? So that right there alone, wipes out everything you were told. You were told that I was a militant and I ruined your life. I took away your childhood, that I'm selfish. So let me go ahead and explain that. The militant part was I was organized, I had a schedule, and your father didn't like having a schedule. You guys chose to be in sports. I supported you 100%. We came from a background of athletes on our family. Your grandfather, Oda, and Oma were athletes. Even Oma went to the Olympic trials. So, yes, of course I was going to support you in all this. But your father would put a spin to it and make it sound like I forced you to play sports. Then he would turn around. I was that mother that had all the kids over in the neighborhood. So, I had 4 of my own. They each had 1 kid. I have 8 kids all of a sudden at my house. So I always fed the kids. I always played with the kids. I did everything for the kids. It was my life till my son turned 17, almost 18 years old. So I had a schedule. I had to have a schedule because I was a single mom, even though I was married. You have to have some kind of organization or time management skills it's basically like having a business, like running a daycare. And that's basically what I did. And to be honest with you, I did it pretty well. I think I did a great job. I'm not perfect, but I enjoyed it. I loved it. So I did it well. And your father didn't like being put on a schedule. He didn't want to go see your games. Not that I'm saying he doesn't love you. It was taking time from his TV, his gambling, his, watching sports on TV, football, whatever. But I didn't care about that stuff. I just wanted to be with my children. And I wanted them to experience different things. And if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. So there was times where I would take you skiing, or I would take you jet skiing, or I would take you, to a movie or whatever. I was always challenged by your father. He was saying I was forcing you to do something you didn't want to do, which was ridiculous. I was the parent that had rules in the house. Your father doesn't like rules. I was the parent that had not only rules, discipline, schedules, but I was the one, I guess, that would hold you accountable if you did something that was wrong. And yes, is there always a parent that's going to do that? Yes. Does that mean I'm a bad person? No. And all I did was talk you through it. Or I would be sarcastic about it and maybe tease you about it, which may not be the right way, but I was trying to get you to learn a lesson, to learn what's right and what's wrong, what's good-hearted and what's bad. So my whole goal was to teach my kids never to intentionally harm any other human, never to tease, never to bully someone. And here I had a parent, another parent, that was a bully himself and was bullying me behind my back. He would tell me one thing but was doing another thing. So I want my children to really think about this. I was thrown to the curb for no reason at all. None. But your father had money, power, and he had all the surrounding people, all the flying monkeys that are around you, supported him because he paid off their debts. He gave them a job. Whatever. It was always about money, handing out money. I'll never forget my son. I don't know how old he was. I could be wrong with this. 15, 16, something like that. Had $7,000 in his wallet and was giving, and maybe I'm wrong on the amount. I think that's what he told me, 7,000. And he was giving it to Uncle John because Uncle John had gambling debts. And why would my former spouse never gave me any money, ever. It went to his mother. Everything was to his mother. He hid money from me. He lied to me from day one, before we even got married. I was lucky. I didn't like carrying money around in my wallet. I was lucky to have $20, $50, $100. Anything more than that, I didn't carry around. But he's given my son all this money to give to his uncle, my sister's husband, to pay off his gambling debts. I mean, in a way, it kind of empowers my son, thinking, oh, look at me, I got all this money, But I want our children, all our children, to realize how a manipulator works. They throw the good parent under the bus and they set us up to fail every time. So my ex was gone for 6 weeks. I did everything. Not a problem. No fights, no arguments. My kids got along. No issues whatsoever. As soon as my ex would come into the picture, then the chaos would start. He didn't want to go to my parents' house for dinner because he wouldn't be able to watch football. Or my parents were like, you can watch football here, what's the difference? But he wanted to be drinking at his tiki bar, to get drunk and fall on the ground, blah, blah, blah. So he always made it difficult for me to visit my family. It was always a party atmosphere. It was a fraternity house, and where I just wanted peace and quiet, and I wanted to play board games with my kids and just, get them to study. My big focus for my kids was life experiences. I wanted them to study, to do hands-on experience. So I'd rather, instead of them sitting at school and learning, I'd rather them take them to a museum and experience it, or take them on a vacation and see different cultures and experience life, to see different languages. That's what I really wanted for my children. I want my children to live their own journey, to live their own life, to make sure they're smart enough to know how to survive in this world, to know how to cook, clean, fix things, troubleshoot, basic life lessons, survival mode. But I was cut out of the picture, and my kids bought into, and I don't blame them, I was shoved out. Everything was taken from me, my bank accounts. I wasn't able to even get a condo for a while. He destroyed my credit with his own bad federal tax liens. Yeah, I'm lucky I'm alive. I really am lucky I'm alive. And I only can thank one person, God above. He gave me the strength, the power to speak out, to go up against this corruption, which is the cabal. It is the mob. And it is disgusting. It is child trafficking. Anyway, I want our children to really start questioning, why is it that you're not with that other parent? Why? What did they do that was so harmful to you that you would never speak to them again? If you can't answer that question, because my kids could never answer that question. They were just doing what their father told them to do. Then I don't know if you could stick all your siblings together and stand up as a group. But if you have one sibling that will not go against that alienated parent, then it might not work. But I always wanted my kids to stick together, all four of them. We were very close. The five of us were very, very close. And that was my goal, to keep them together. And at least they're together, but still, even the father divides and conquers them. You know, one child is the golden child. Another child is the scapegoat. One child's the heir to the empire. For me, I'm just trying to wake my kids up to their cognitive thinking has not kicked in. My kids are right now 26, 24, 22, and 20. And they say the frontal lobe of your brain, especially for boys, does not develop until they're 25. It's already been 10 years that we have been separated for no reason at all. I'm telling you, I love you. I want you in my life. I don't blame you. I forgive you. And I don't know how to get you to me safely without harming you or anyone that's helping. So I suggest really digging deep down and deciding if you want to be with good or if you want to be with evil. If you want to be with an honest person or you want to be with the liar, or if you want to be with God versus the devil. It's your choice. It's your journey. I pray every day that there is a safe escape for you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. You know my number. You know how to contact me. You can go through my friends. Unfortunately, if we had to do it secretly, then that's what we have to do. But if you want a true, meaningful, purposeful life, then you need to get out of that narcissistic circle and that addictive, abusive, gaslighting, alcoholism, drugs. You got to get out of that circle. In order for you to have clarity, you need to get out of that domestic violence. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. I have tried. I can give you a life of peace and happiness and fun and life lessons. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be work? Sure. But if you're not working and you're sitting around doing nothing, how can you feel good about yourself? You need to be able to work things through. You need to be able to troubleshoot. You need to be able to put things together on your own so it makes you feel good and whole as a person. Independent. Empowerment. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling. It's almost 15 minutes, so I'm going to end it here. I hope my kids hear this. Again, I love you. I never stopped loving you. The cord cannot be broken. The bond cannot be broken. I don't care what your dad says. Even if we haven't seen each other for 10 years, That bond can't be broken. He can never get me to stop loving you. Period. So, hopefully we can work this out. You can escape the abuse and finally have freedom in your life. I love you always, to the moon and back. Mom. Choose love over hate, compassion over judgment, because love wins. Always. God bless.